Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English. Basics for beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah An-Naziyat, those who tear out, chapter 79, verse 1 out of 46. We've done this in the previous episode. This is just a quick reminder. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. By the angels who tear out the souls of the wicked with violence, by those who gently draw out the souls of the blessed, and by those who glide along on every errand of mercy. Then press forward as in a race. Then arrange to do the commands of their Lord. It is very, very important to understand something about angels. Angels never ever refuse the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an order or an instruction, the angels will do it immediately. The angels of the clouds and the rain is Ra'd alayhi salam. When he was given a command in the time of Nuh alayhi salam to send water down, water came down in gushes until the place was totally flooded. They don't stop. When the angels were sent to the town of Lut alayhi salam because of the evil that they have done, sodomy, men having sex with men, gay sex, they destroyed that entire town and threw it upside down with sulfur, that means volcanic ashes, whatever else these people suffered. The angels will do their command with precision. When Malakul Maut is given a command that this particular person's time is up, Malakul Maut will not hesitate. He will just simply immediately go there and remove the soul as is his command. The only time that Malakul Maut hesitated, there was only one time in the history of mankind when Malakul Maut hesitated, is at the time of Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sal'lam. Can you imagine the honor and status of the Prophet Mohamed, peace and blessings be upon him? That Malakul Maut came to him and asked him permission to say, I simply cannot take your soul. Your status is very, very high, not only amongst all the Anbiya, but also amongst all the inhabitants of heaven. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this high status. You are the Habib of Allah. How can I, as an angel, even though I am Malakul Maut, how can I take your soul? And Malakul Maut then goes into discussion. Your Rabb has given you a choice. Allah has given you a choice. Do I have permission? Imagine, the angel of death is asking permission out of the highest respect to Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, Ya Rasulullah, for everybody in dunya, for the billions of people, I never ask permission. It's my job, I do it. For you, I have to ask your permission. Allah has sent me to ask you that do you want to continue living in the dunya? You can continue living in the dunya. If you want to return to Him, then you can return to Him. But the choice is yours. Can you imagine the status of Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sal'lam, that for the first time, Malakul Maut, After taking away billions and billions of souls of the believers, and billions of souls of unbelievers, and billions of souls of evil people and criminals, when he came to Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, he stopped. We cannot understand and contemplate the status and the high rank of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I want to be with the highest. He wants to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khalas. Now we are telling us that for ourselves as believers, how the beautiful angels come, bringing with them a shroud from paradise immersed in beautiful musk, and they wrap the soul up and they take it up high. Can you imagine the malaika that came to meet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? They were not ordinary malaika, they were the giants of all of the malaika. All the giants, the super elite, the elite of the elite of the elite of the malaika were there. To say this is now the root of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is because of this roof that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala created the heavens and the earth through the nur of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I have no doubt that people like Jibreel alayhi salam, Israfil alayhi salam, Mikail alayhi salam, Ridwan alayhi salam, all the various giants of the angels were all there waiting to see how Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's soul is taken and wrapped in something which we cannot even contemplate, and then taken to the highest levels. Alas. So, in general, the Malaika, whoever they are, whether it's Malik al-Maut or the angel of the mountains, whatever that angels are, they will obey the commands of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala without a shadow of a doubt. And that is why it was so horrendous that when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam in the form of mankind, and Allah told all the angels, you bow down. They all bowed down. Not one angel, not two, trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of angels, except one. Can you imagine? Everyone has prostrated and one is standing. He is the rebel. He disobeyed the command of Allah. Can you imagine the courage he's got, the guts he's got? You know, in Afrikaans we say, het pyl plak, ne? Het pyl plak. To say, I'm going to challenge God. God told me to bow down. I am not to bow down to this man, Adam. I am not going to do that. That is why he was kicked out and he is sent into hell. So if you are a rebel to God, the lesson is you're going to go to hell. If you reject God, you're going to go to hell. If you refuse to bow down to God, you're going to go to hell. If you don't believe in God, you're going to go to hell. The example we are seeing with Satan or Shaitan or Iblis or Lucifer, the devil. You refuse the command of your Creator. You are not worthy of being an obedient servant slave. Your job is to end up in hell and join the devil in hell because he has deceived you. But the obedient slaves and servants of Allah are like the angels. They obey the commands of Allah. We are not perfect human beings. We'll make mistakes. We'll miss our namaz. We'll miss our fasting. We'll miss our umrah. We'll miss our charity and so on. Allah is Ghafoor Rahim. As long as our niyat is clear, and for various reasons we have fallen short in what we are supposed to be doing. But as long as we are those of Amanu wa Amilu Salihat, we have the Iman, La ilaha illallah, and we do the good and righteous deeds, then Allah through His grace and mercy grants Jannah al-Firdaus. But the lesson is, the angels obey the command of the Creator without a shadow of a doubt and without hesitation. One day, on the day of judgment, everything that can be in commotion will be in violent commotion. Not ordinary commotion, violent commotion. The oceans will boil over. The sky above will crack open. Our sun will become a super red giant. It'll be starting to swell up. So as the Quran describes it, it's as if there is red ointment on the sky. You won't see a blue sky anymore. You're going to see a red sky, because already Mercury has been absorbed by the red giant, our sun. Venus has been absorbed by our sun. Our moon has already gone into our sun, and the next one that's going to go into the sun is our planet Earth. So the sun will be by our levels of our sky. Everything, the planet will be so hot that the oceans will be boiling with the heat. The crust of the earth will be shaking, because the intensity of the vibration of the trumpet, the sound that Israfil alayhi salam will be blowing out, the sound will be so intense, it will match the resonant frequency of atoms and molecules, of rocks and stones, so that Mount Everest will be turned to dust. Himalayas will be turned to dust. The Andes mountain ranges will be turned to dust. The Rockies mountain will be turned to dust, like Kilimanjaro, Drakensberg mountain, everything. Skyscrapers, hotels, casinos, houses, mansions, everything, roads and airports, nothing will exist. Everything will be in violent commotion. And today, scientists have discovered the power of sound. And because of the frequency of sound, they've even made weapons of war known as barrel bombs, sound bombs. And they are also using it in riot control to blast out such a terribly high frequency that if there's a riot crowd, then this sound, they don't use water bombs anymore. They use sound bombs that people won't be able to tolerate the sound in their ear, and they run away from the street. This is how powerful sound is. And in the mining industry and in geology, certain frequencies of sound are being used to smash rocks. They don't use drills anymore. You can either use high intensity pressure of water or high intensity frequency of sound that matches the resonant innate frequency of that piece of rock or granite. And when you match the frequency of that piece of granite or rock, that thing will be shattered to pieces. So on that day, everyone will be walking around like drunklabs, because everything will be shaking, everything will be falling, the buildings will be falling, everything will be smashing to bits. The entire earth will be in violent commotion, followed by oft-repeated commotion. There won't be a break in it. Normally after an earthquake you get a few seconds or a minute or 2 minutes and everyone sits still. You see the people running out into the streets because you don't want to be part of the building. You're going to collapse in the building. So normally you see people running out into the streets, then they sit on the ground and they wait for the shaking to end. And then the shaking ends. But on the day of judgment, it won't be a shaking for 1 or 2 minutes. It won't be a shaking for 1 or 2 hours. That shaking will go on for days and days and days and years. Because Israfil alayhi salam is going to blow for 40 years. That shaking is not going to stop until everything has been pounded to dust and the entire earth will look like baby powder. Nothing will survive. Hearts that day will be in agitation. People will be horrified. They won't know what is going on, because on that day there is no escape. Because at the moment we are living peacefully on the planet Earth, yet we don't understand that our planet Earth is spinning at 1,600 kilometers per hour on its own, on its axis to give us our night and day, and it's shooting at a speed of 100,000 kilometers per hour, 20 times faster than the speed of a bullet around the sun to give us our calendar, and we think the Earth is standing still. But on that day, the earth will show it's not still. Everything will be shaking. Oceans will be swelling with boiling over. Clouds will be falling. Chaos will be everywhere. People will be screaming. Animals will be running. People won't know whether to go left or right, helter skelter. Everyone will be in agitation. People will die from heart attacks and strokes and whatever conditions you can think of extreme fear. Cast down will be the owner's eyes. They will know the crime that they have done. They will know exactly. This is the day they denied. They did not believe in such a day of judgment. They did not believe that the planet Earth will undergo such violent change. Then they will realize, wow, 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 we are on our way to the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth. And what the Quran was talking about is 100% true. That means that there is a day of judgment. So their eyes will be down as the angels will take them to the gathering. They say, what? Shall we indeed be returned to our former state? Yes, indeed. Even if you are decomposed for 1,000 years, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reassemble your entire body up to your fingerprints. Your entire 30 trillion cells in your body will be reassembled again without a shadow of a doubt. What? When we shall have become rotten bones? Yes, indeed. When you are fraught like a rotten bone, and you are fraught and your body is broken up into pieces, even if hyenas have eaten your bones, even if a lion has eaten you, even if the vultures have swallowed your bones, you will be restored back to your original self. That is the guarantee. And if you don't believe in that, you don't know the power of the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth. You don't know the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say it would in that case be a return with loss. Of course it will be a return with loss. If you don't believe in God, you are lost forever in eternity. And not only any God, you must believe in the true God. There is only one true God. Not the God of your imagination, not the God of your priest or pastor or cult leader. There is not the God of the famous scientists or philosophers who are making their own gods. There is only one true God. You've got to figure out who it is, and you've got to spend your life in worship to Him alone. La ilaha illallah. If you don't do that, then no matter how pious you are, no matter how many times you've gone to your temple, it will mean absolutely nothing, because you have been worshipping falsehood your entire life. But you can have been a good person, a kind person. So please don't delay. Asabli, don't delay. Get your copy of the Quran today. Figure out who is this one supreme creator. Who is that correct God? Not that, and the God of the universe has never been born. He does not have a mother, he does not have a father, he does not have a son, he does not have a daughter, he does not have uncles and aunts. There's no family lineage in God. There's no family of God. God is one. The Quran is the gold standard. It has come to remove the mistakes of the Bibles and other divine scriptures. The original Bible was 100% correct. But after that, human beings, in simple terms, those of Epstein and his cartel of mafias, the elite of the elite, the wealthy of the wealthy, changed the Bible to suit themselves and to have a hold over the people. They don't believe in God. They simply want to control your brain. So please, if you want to find out the truth, if you want to find out what is the purpose and meaning of life, if you want to find out why there is a guarantee that you will be resurrected and why it is absolutely essential for you to be resurrected again, please get a copy of the Quran today. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.